about living sustainably, asking the questions, how can we make changes to act more sustainably? And what makes things sustainable? And how are these things helping the environment? Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about composting, what the benefits are, and how to start a compost pile in a few simple steps. So there's two reasons why it's more sustainable to compost rather than to throw things away where they'll end up in a landfill. The first one is that everything that you throw away has to be transported to a landfill. And about 40% of what ends up in landfills is stuff that could be composted. And when you think about how much weight that is, that's a lot. So the fewer trucks and the less gas that has to be used to transport everything that you throw away, the better. Other reason is that landfills are these giant piles of trash, and most of that pile never sees the sun. You know, it's just piled under layers and layers of stuff, and it doesn't have any air. And what ends up happening is that the microorganisms that you find in a landfill are all anaerobic. That means they don't use oxygen. The thing about compost piles is that the organisms that you find in them are actually aerobic because things get turned over and they're exposed to the air, right? And the difference between these anaerobic microorganisms and these aerobic microorganisms is that anaerobic microorganisms produce methane, aerobic produce CO2. And why does that matter? Well, methane is 21 times as powerful of a greenhouse gas than CO2, which is a pretty big deal. So, you can start a compost pile, but obviously not everything can go into it. So there's a lot of things that can go in, some that can't are things like meat, bones, dairy products, fats and oils, any kind of pet droppings from your cat or dog, those are a no-go. You shouldn't put weeds in your compost pile just because they can be damaging, and then all plastics should not go in your compost pile. But any food scraps you have around, paper, and plenty of other things can go in, and you can save so much stuff that will then just make a really good fertilizer. So today we're gonna go outside, you're gonna meet my friend Farmer Greg, and we're gonna learn how to make a good old-fashioned compost pile. I'm Sophia, the intern, and this is my buddy Farmer Greg. And we're here today to teach you how to make a compost pile. Let's get started. So once you have your spot picked out, you can start putting stuff down. And what you're gonna wanna do is have about 2/3 of your material be brown and 1/3 of it be stuff that's green. So some examples of things that might be considered brown material are things like dried leaves, maybe some twigs. You can do shredded paper. Something else you can do that's really good is egg cartons, and you might want to just break it down into smaller pieces. You don't want the pieces to be way too big. That's a little bit big. But just shred it up and you can just put it down as some of your composting material. And just get a nice base down. All right, and so once we have this nice little spot put out, it's all in one spot, it's condensed, we can start putting our green layer on. So things that are usually gonna be part of that green layer can include things from certain kitchen scraps to fresh cut grass from when you mow your lawn. Right here we have some kitchen scraps, so we have some vegetables. We have an artichoke stem. We have some eggshells too. We have cantaloupe rinds. You can put tea bags or coffee filters in there as well. And so we're just gonna put that on top of the stuff that we already have, get it spread out. And this is just some more recent stuff. So get like a little more than this, but so that way it evens out with your brown layer. Another great thing that you can do is, and this is something that might be good to add right in there with the green layer, is dirt from an existing compost pile. And this is really good because it will have microorganisms. It will also have certain insects, just like worms, which will help break down all the material and really help get it started. So right here we have some dirt from our regular compost pile, and I'm just gonna put that right on top of there. And then we have some more recent stuff as well. Oh. All right, so now that we have our green layer with our compost, our soil from another pile, we're gonna do one more layer of stuff on top, and that's just going to be your other brown layer. So basically it starts brown layer, then green layer with soil, and then lastly on top is the brown layer. And then after that, you know, you have some more dried leaves and some more twigs. And again, you can do shredded newspaper, as I'm doing here, some ripped up egg cartons. You can do dried leaves, which, you know, a lot of people will have a lot of those in their yard, and just like any sort of hay or straw. Once you have your pile started, you know, you have your different layers, it's also good to add a little bit of water to keep it moist. So now that we have our pile, what we're gonna do later on, after it's sat for maybe, you know, start with 1 month, maybe 2 months, because it takes time for things to decompose, is we're gonna do something called aerating. And aerating is important because it brings oxygen to the lower layers of the pile that aren't really exposed to the air as much. And what you're gonna wanna do to aerate your pile is just, you can take a pitchfork of some sort, or a shovel, and you can put it in, you can dig up the bottom layer and put the bottom layer more on the top. And remember that you can always add things to your pile as time continues. So, you know, even in a couple days, I might have more scraps that I can come outside and put on my pile. So it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. And your pile is ready to use. So why would someone want to start a compost? From, you know, freshly